collective. Thank you for being here. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If messages are giving you any type of clarity, I'm grateful. Before wasting any more time, let's tap right into it. Yeah. Right now, you've released a lot of things. Whoever I'm talking to, you've released a lot of things. You're no longer doubting yourself. You've released a lot of things. You've accepted yourself. You are now accepting yourself for who you are. There are things that you cannot change. There are things that you can change. You don't have to dwell and try to burden yourself by self-sabotaging. I feel right now I'm talking to somebody who's more like you are taking the pen and writing your own narrative. You are no longer allowing people to run along with the fake story of you, as the story that they want to project on you. You're no longer allowing that nonsense. It's more like, no, you've been humbled too much for way too long. You've been humbled for way too long, and people may have thought that was a weakness, whereas to you it was more like, no, I'm trying to be in my lane and stay out of everyone's business. For them it was more like, no, collective is such a weakling, collective, she has run into hiding. No, collective had to mind their own, had to work on themselves. These are people who loves mediocre. Yeah, right now I feel like you've released this doubt. You've released working with shame. You've released uncertainty. You now know whatever it is that you see, it is what it is. You've healed enough. You've been initiated through your healing. Now you know what is it. Whatever you can see things for what they are. You are very much in your purpose. I'm talking to somebody who's more like, now you know what is it, what's up. At first you may have doubt your intuition, thinking like, you are like everyone else, even deeming yourself, thinking, no man, maybe I'm overreacting, let me give them a chance. You even enabling situations. You were even enabling a narcissist in your situation, because I feel you didn't want to come harsh. You didn't want to actually trust your intuition. Yeah, and I feel that is why these narcissists, most of them actually capitalized when it comes to you, because these are people who could see that you could see right through them, but then you didn't know the powers you had within you. These are people who could see that you didn't know the powers you had within you. Pretty much, they had to play along, hence they siphoned your energy. Hence they came wearing facades, they were vampires. They were, taking out of your energy, taking out of your resources. These are people who enjoy that. Right now, I feel these people from the outside looking in, they see no, collective has released the need to know the all other answers. You've released the doubt. You're now more in your purpose. You've released the wanting to fit in. Yeah, pretty much the wanting to fit in, because I feel these are people who are projecting doubts on you. You wanting to fit in, they'll be telling, no, you have been too much, you have been too sensitive, you are too overthinking, you are too whatever. No, let it is not that big. You are trying to make it that big. No, chill. You be like, no, they were actually planting seeds of doubt within your head, wanting you to be part of this matrix. In the matrix, everyone is assigned to their position. You have to live accordingly. And these are people who actually wanted to assign you to a certain position as well. Yeah, these are people who are more like, this is collective's position, collective, this is how we're gonna treat her. When you're a black sheep, everyone knows that how to treat you. If I feel it's like, it goes without saying, there's no respect being granted to your way. There's no care, consideration, granted when it comes your way. Yeah, but then I feel these are people who are more like now seeing you got tired of all that. You got tired. You're like, I know my worth. I don't deserve to live this bullshit. Being controlled by people who don't even know themselves. It's too much. It's actually frustrating. Yeah, you were like, nah, I'm not gonna do this to myself. Let me just leave them with their game, you know. Them as playing their power games. Let me leave them with their power games and mind my own. Yeah, right now these are people who are more like seeing you are minding your own, you are in your purpose, and things are changing for you, you know. Yeah, it's more like you took challenges as the best way for you to learn. You took challenges as the best way for you to evolve, you know. I feel you had to be too imaginative, because I feel like I'm talking to somebody who has this wild imagination. You were like, mm, this is not how life's supposed to be. I don't feel like I'm supposed to actually be a follower, you know. I don't fit in the following box, you know. Yeah, I feel your whole life may have been a common theme of you being rebellious, you being unconventional, you not wanting to conform, you know. You are pretty much your I feel your whole life may have been you people saying that you are a know-it-all, you think you're a know-it-all, blah blah blah, only because you might be feeling like, no, I see you want me to be in the box, but the box is too small, you know, or the box is too awkward, the box is favoring square shapes. What about us, the cycles, you know? And then you are blamed for not fitting in a box, whereas you're a cycle. You be asking yourself, what's up? What the hell? I'm a cycle. You're supposed to make a cycle for me, not a box, you know. Yeah, these are people who wanted you to fit in a square shape, whereas you're a cycle, or whereas you're a triangle. They'd be like, no, this is the system, this is how things are supposed to be. And when every time you are not fitting in, they are trying to say, you know, you are too something, there's something wrong about you. They don't see anything wrong about the system, they don't see anything wrong about how they are doing things, you know. Yeah, but then right now I see these are people who sees you are actually doing better by yourself, you are doing well by yourself, you know, because now you are running away, you are running wild with your imagination, you are running wild with your imagination, and it's actually paying off for you. These are people who are more like regretting, you know. They want to change the past because they feel like they were extra harsh on you. These are people who may be feeling like they were extra harsh on you. Let's see some more on this message. Yeah, right now they are watching you being of service to others. Right now, these are people who are more like watching you being of service to others. You may be somebody who feels good through helping others, you know. I feel whatever you may be even doing is not like you want others to pay or whatever. It's more like you're doing it out of goodwill, as much as you may want it to pay out for you, but it's also something that you love, you know. I feel you're somebody who love to be of service, you know. Yeah, it's more like you are in your purpose. I mean, duh. Yes, you are being guided by your intuition. Whatever it is that you are doing, it's more like you are more like guided by your intuition, you know. You are in your purpose. Yeah. Though it may not be even be paying off, though it may be paying off, it's more like to you it's the same, it's more the same, because that's something that you love. You love to rise the consciousness of the collective. You like to uplift and empower others. Yeah, let's see some more on this. Yeah, whoever I'm talking to, these are people who are more like seeing you are going through a rebirth. You're no longer doubting yourself. Yes, you are going through a rebirth. You may be coming off as though you are cold, you know, but then no, it's more like you're going through a transformation. It's like you're pushing out what doesn't belong, and so that you can allow in what belongs, you know. Right now it's more like you're pushing everything out that doesn't belong. No rekindling with the past, no nothing with the past. The past has done its course. You saw the past, you've learned from the past. There's nothing new you can learn from the past. It's more like now we are waiting for the new adventures, new opportunities, new friendships, new relationships. You know what? That's what's up. That's the transformation that you are going through right now. Anything about the past is more like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna hate you, but it's more like I don't have time for you. You know, yes, I recognize you, I see you, but then nah, you cannot sit with on my table. You can't sit with us. It's now you saying that you can't sit with us. Yeah, you have every right to even tell somebody, yeah, I love you, but nah, I can't chill with you. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, these are people who are more like seeing how much they sabotage themselves. These are people who are now more like seeing how much they sabotage themselves. These are people who are more like watching you going through transformations. Yeah, they've lost leverage. You no longer radiate under their radar. You're no longer there. That patterns cannot be repeated. Yeah, there's nothing bonding you to them anymore. These are people who wants to come in with their fake respect, fake whatever. You're too guarded for this. You're too guarded for this. You're about to harvest your what thing, your fruit of your labor. You are going through a harvest. You're about to harvest something for yourself. You don't need these people. These people are from the past. That's where they belong, in the past. As much as they may want for you to create new memories, there's nothing to create. There's nothing to create. These are people who actually wanted you to always be ashamed of yourself. Be nah, nah. Yeah, right now it's more like they are seeing things happening in real time for you. Yeah, you are being spiritually guided right now. You are in alchemy. You utilize and blend in the past and the new. Yeah. Continue focusing on your stability. Continue focusing on your material wealth. Continue focusing on your security. Yeah, continue moving with the flow and bring in harmony into your situations. Be in the present. There's nothing for you in the past. Be in the present. Be grateful of what you have right now. You've healed enough. You are now a limitless being. You don't have to chase anything. You are now working on attracting what belongs to you, what's yours. Hence you have to put in the work. Hence you have to keep on keeping that frequency, being on that beautiful vibration. These are people who want to come bring it down. These people, it's either they want to come bring it down or siphon from your energy. These are people who just self-centered. They are so selfish. They want to come make you their therapist. Yeah, these are people who want to come make you their counselor. You always mending their emotions, mending their hearts, mending their headspace. They are letting them to emotionally dump on you, and then you suck all that and give them that all that good counseling. No, you don't need these people. Just let these people there where they belong. Leave them there where they belong. Yeah, you are going through a breakthrough right now. You are going through your breakthrough right now. Yeah, you are working together with your higher self. Yeah, it's all about you, baby. It's all about you. Collective. I love this. Yeah, be in the present. Be in the present. Be in the present. Be you being of service to others. That's something that you manifested. That's something that's bringing in changes your way. That's something that makes you happy. Yeah, clearly you love being of service to others. You love being this motivational. You love it. You love being this of assistance to others. I feel I'm talking to somebody who's very much emotionally and spiritually uh, intelligence. You are very much aware. You are aware of people's personalities and behaviors. You're like, oh, I got you. I cloaked that. I cloaked that. Yeah, now we're gonna have to move as though I didn't, but I cloaked that. Yeah, you're somebody who's very much intelligent when it comes to uh, behavioral patterns. Yeah, let's see some more. Collective, yeah, continue going to the unknown. Right now you are co-creating. Right now it's more like you don't know what to expect, but then you just know you and God have it all together. You and God are like best buddies. God is your sugar daddy. You just know. You just know. Yeah, you are so at peace with yourself right now. Continue being at peace with yourself. Continue empowering yourself and others. Continue, yeah, uplifting yourself and others. You are so uplifting. You have no idea how much uplifting you are. Continue forcing gravity. Yeah, continue avoiding being stagnant. Yeah, be more in control. You've earned so much respect, collective. you be more in control of your life, of your situations. Yeah, I feel your energy commands respect. Your energy just say respect me. Yeah, I feel you have a lot of people looking up to you as well. Yeah, you have a lot of people looking up to you. Yeah, let's see some more on this. Yeah, with you going through the rebirth, through this rebirth, I feel it's more like you don't know what's coming, but whatever is coming seems to be very good for you. It's so good. It's so good. It's something that you've brought. Yeah, you have a lot of people watching you be in your alchemy. You have a lot of people watching you being in your alchemy. They are stalking you. These are people who are more like learning from you. These are people who are inspired. Yeah, these are people who are very much more like self-sabotage. They love to self-victimize. They self-sabotaged. Now they are more like self-sabotage, self-victimizing. Oh, poor me this, poor me that. Nah, you are a grown-up person. You are a grown-ass person. So why are you busy, poor me? Fix yourself. Stop doing that. Yeah, these are people who see you as way too sharp. Yeah, they see you as this queen of swords. Yeah, you don't mince your words. You are clear with your communication. You are not biased. You are not going to pick sides. No, that's not who you are. You're not biased. Right now it's more like because they know what kind of a person you are, they are busy, poor me, because they know you're gonna give them exactly what they deserve. You're gonna give them the peck exactly how it's designed for them. Yeah, you stand for the truth. You give awareness and clarity. You're not going to sugarcoat anything coming with a small glass. No, not gonna do that. You're gonna state the truth as it is, whether it hurts or it doesn't. But then that's the truth, hey? Yeah, I feel you're being spied on. You're being spied on. I feel even by the community, even by access. Yeah, pretty much even by access. With the four of wands being here, it's more like they're watching you being stable, being happy with yourself, doing whatever you love. Yeah, anyway, you're being spied on, you know. Yeah, you are in the presence and you have this quiet strength about you. You are so rebellious. People don't know what to think of you. People see you as somebody who's so courageous. You have this go-getter spirit about you. It's more like you know how to even tame your lion. You know how to tame your lion. Yeah, these are people who sees you've brought endings to your connections. These are people who sees you are no longer looking back. These are people who sees you are no longer looking back. Yeah, like I cannot make this up. You are very much in the present. You are no longer looking back. You are moving with the flow. They want to come with their propositions anyway, but then I feel these are people who are more like you can see right through them. Yeah, these are people who sees that you trust yourself way too much. You can see right through them. These are people who are more like feeling like you are way too mysterious, and you have the receipts. You are too wise. Yeah, there's no penetrating you with lies. Yeah, these are people who just know they can't come in with confusion. They just can't come in with their confused uh characters. I'm trying not to swear. Yeah, they just come in with their confused nature. These are people who just know. Yeah, I feel right now they are more like feeling like you have a lot of options because they see how much you've healed. You are very much content and grateful. These are people who are trying to actually attack your spirituality and these are people who are like being petty on you. Right now, they want to come back for what? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. These are people who are full of nonsense. Exactly. They're way too confused. They want you to be confused with them. Today they love you, tomorrow they don't. Tomorrow they love. No. Let them be confused by themselves, collective. Let them be confused by themselves. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. If you don't like me, don't like me. Stop being in and out as though I'm not your child. I'm not you. Even your child won't allow you to play with them. Yeah, these are people who are more like, yeah, you are not trying to please them. These are people who are seeing you are not trying to please them at any cost by any means. Yeah, these are people who sees you've grown, you've advanced, and you are keeping things up. You are seeing keeping things up. It's more like down the rabbit go, down the rabbit hole you go. You know, you are busy trying to create most opportunities for yourself. These are people who sees that. Down the rabbit hole you go. Let's see what are they saying about the collective right now. Let's see what are they saying. Yeah, they're talking about how much you've moved on. Yes, you don't care. They're so obsessed. They can't let you go. They're holding on to your energy for dear life, talking shit. Yeah, they want to control you. Oh my God, something gonna come in with some dirty offers. You know, careful of those exes, careful of those people that gonna come in trying to sugarcoat you. Yeah, those are those people. Just so you should know, they are the ones. They're cloud chasing. They're cloud chasing, busy talking shit behind your back, spreading lies and smiling in your face. Yeah, they're more like going through bad karma because I feel they said the most. You know, they were bold and arrogant. You know, right now it's more like their lies are catching up with them. You know, everything is backfiring. Everything is backfiring. Yeah, they want to come try to come in with some dirty offers your way. They're going to come try to come in with some dirty offers your way. Yeah, continue meditating, you know, giving yourself that self love, being in your element, you know, being one with your higher self. Continue doing what needs to be done for yourself. You know, yeah, I feel I'm talking to somebody who's more like you are very much one with yourself and you are very much powerful. Just if you didn't know, you are now owning your power. You are more creative, you are more artistic, you are more free spirited, you are now more in the right element. You know, you are able to create whatever it is your heart desires. You don't have to stress about these people. You can have project after project, you can have as many projects as you want. You know, test yourself. These are people who are stuck on you. You are stuck on yourself. You are locked in your own life. Them, they are busy trying to mind yours. I mean, self-reliance. Exactly. You rely on yourself, you know, and you are such a reflection. Just so you should know, you are the mirror. You know, you are the mirror to these people. Yeah, let's have one more. Small steps wins the race. Look at you. Continue making those small steps. You know, continue puzzling things up. You know, I see you are working on things. You're busy puzzling things up, you know, putting in the important parts and letting go of what isn't. Exactly. Right now, you are embracing each element, weaving them into your story with openness and understanding. Now you have a better understanding, a clear judgment. You're no longer being controlled by your emotions. You are no longer being controlled by your body. You are no, you know, right now you have a clear judgment. You know, you're not being biased. You're not being controlled by, no, you're way too emotionally stable for that. Yeah, I feel right now everyone and you can see that small steps are actually uh, victorious, you know, everyday's victories, you know, celebrate them. They will take you wherever you actually want, you know. Yeah, continue puzzling up things. Anyway, thank you for the following, thank you for the likes, thank you for the support. I really do appreciate you. Let's meet on the next one.